Welcome to the 3-Minute Coach and our February 2026 series, Experiments in Love, 8 Ways to Practice Love in Real Life. This is episode number 242. February is short, which makes it the perfect month for tiny experiments. These are small, loving practices we can try for 3 days and notice what happens. The 3-Minute Coach is a short pause for thoughtful reflection on ideas you can live with. I'm Grace Carter. Let's take 3 minutes together.
There's a familiar line of scripture that many know by heart, and it is this: love your neighbor as yourself. Matthew 22:39. Most of us emphasize the first half. Love your neighbor. Serve others. Be generous. Be kind. And we should do all of that. But for a long time, I didn't place much emphasis on the second part of that passage. As yourself. There's a presumption that first you love yourself, then you are able to love your neighbor. And so when I really sat with that, way back in the 90s, my children were young, I had a lot of responsibility, and I was really not very loving to myself. Not exactly. You see, the way I spoke to myself internally was not the way that I would speak to another human being. I would never say to a friend, "What's wrong with you?" Or, "You always mess this up." Or, "You should be better than this by now." And yet, those were familiar things that I said to myself. And so that's when I began to learn something quietly powerful. If I'm harsh with myself, I will struggle in being compassionate to others. If I demand perfection from myself, I will expect it, even demand it from others. In other words, we are what we practice. So self-love isn't about being indulgent. It isn't about a spa day. It really starts in your own way of dealing with yourself. It's about dignity. It's about speaking the truth without contempt. It's about connecting without cruelty. And it's about holding responsibility without humiliation. If the command to love my neighbor as myself is really important, then learning to love myself well is paramount. It's not selfish, it's foundational. So here's a tiny experiment for the next 3 days. When you notice a self-critical thought, pause and ask yourself this: would I say this to someone I truly respected? If the answer is no, then rewrite it, reframe it, restate it. Keep it honest, but keep it kind. Keep it accountable, but let it move you forward. Perhaps loving your neighbor starts by ending the hostility within. Thanks for listening.